So when Grace was in college, she had her 1995 D1, and every time we went to visit her in Flagstaff, we ended up working on the car. We ended up working it on our friends' driveways. We ended up working on it in every single Napa, O'Reilly, AutoZone, all of them in Flagstaff. And I got really tired of it. And Grace wanted to travel after college. So last year I bought her, or James and I bought her, this 2006 LR3. And the 2006 LR3, after it had 140,000 miles on it, so I decided we were going to change the entire coolant system, because this had a coolant leak to start with, and these are known for that. So I changed the entire coolant system, the radiator and all the hoses. The only hose I did not change, I even did the hose that goes down under the intake manifold, which is a real pain in the rear. The only hose I didn't change was the hose that goes to the back rear seats, and I figured if that hose blew, it was on Grace, or we could just plug it, and she won't have rear heat. She doesn't have children yet, so it doesn't really matter. It won't have rear air conditioning. Who cares? Nobody rides back there anyway. So what I did not replace was the coolant pump. So guess what happens? Grace gets her first job after college at Arches National Park, and so we are here in Moab visiting her. And I've got my van, and I've got Grace's LR3, and I'm in the Campground Williams Bottom, just outside of Moab, and I am changing the coolant pump on it. I have YouTube to help me watch videos on how to change the coolant pump. I have all my tools. I have my tools. I have Grace's tools. I have a new water pump. I have coolant. And hopefully I will link the video that I'm using. Really good one. Tells you all the tools you need. Hopefully I will be able to get this done. I figure I will film it, because if I don't film it, something awful will happen and I'll wish I had filmed it. And if I do film it, it will be boring and nothing will happen, and it will be easy. And so I'm hoping for boring, easy, and nothing happening. It's October, and it's supposed to be a 95 today, and so I'm hoping to get this done before we get out of the shade. And anyway, let's see how it goes. Hopefully it works out well. I'm in my crappy old clothes, no makeup, got my hair up, and well, hopefully it goes well. We'll see.
So this is not a story of how things go right when working on cars. This is a story on how they can go wrong. The day starts out pretty easy. I take off the intake manifold, take out the fan shroud, and then I get to the fan. And I realize problem number one: the lack of proper tools. I knew when I was coming to Moab, I would need to change out the water pump. James was being helpful, and I said to him, "Did you pack the 2 wrenches?" And he goes, "Yeah." Okay. And he was kind of like, "Why do you need 2 wrenches?" Well, what James packed was 2 of these wrenches and not these 2 wrenches, the bolt holder wrench and the actual fan shroud wrench. I knew I needed the bolt holder to do this job, and I didn't have it. So I spent several hours trying to figure out how to get the fan off and to get the pulley off without the bolt holder. So you can see here that I eventually used an open-end wrench with a breaker bar. So if you can see what I've done, I've hooked the closed end part of the wrench over, and then I'm using this as leverage. And I'm going to hold on to that, and then I'm going to use the socket to break this third one loose. Okay.
got that on there, and that on there, so you can, I don't know if you can see it, but there you can see how I'm kind of kludging it, but I want to go wheeling in Moab.
It worked, but it took a long time because I had to keep redoing this many, many times before it would actually break the bolt loose. After breaking the bolts loose on the fan and the pulley, it was pretty easy and straightforward from there, and I got the water pump out.
And you can see right here in there really that there's leaking right there. Well, it could be leaking anywhere, but it's definitely leaking right there. So, get this off, get it cleaned up, get a new one on. Okay, so here is the new water pump, all shiny and new. And we're going to put the gasket. It's a paper gasket. It's not a rubber gasket like it looks like it was on the old one. And this doesn't quite fit over. So I'm just gonna ease it down. Easy, easy, easy. Easy, easy. I'm not sure. I would assume that's good. And then it will tighten down as I tighten down the bolts. And it goes back on like this. Get one of the...
I got the new water pump on, and then I just did everything in reverse, and it was pretty simple to get it running again. Now we arrive at problem number 2. A knocking noise. I turn the vehicle back on, and I can hear a knocking noise that does not make me happy.
Well, it's sucking down coolant. A little bit. Pulley's loose. We'll take a video. I don't have, that pulley is loose because we have 2 bolt tighteners at home and I don't have either. So tomorrow I'll get in there and try to tighten those bolts as best I can without give another go at it. And maybe I'll wait for Gracie and she can help me after work tomorrow. Okay, let's clean up.
If only it was just a loose bolt.
Day 2 of my trying to change the water pump here at Williams Bottom Campground. So once I got done filming last night, I spent some time, I cleaned up, and then I looked at it again and I saw that the water pulley, the pulley for the serpentine belt, one of the pulleys that I took off was rocking. So today, there was that noise, was something, it was rattling. So today I'm going to try to tighten it because I do not have the correct part. I'm going to try to use my electric ratchet to kind of torque it real tight, and then I'm going to use the same method with a open end wrench, duct tape it to it, and then try to tighten it and hold it and try to tighten it as tight as possible to get that done. Then I'm going to be able to bleed this coolant system, get it all done, and hopefully be able to drive the car today into town to get Grace because she's taking me to dinner, and then
And then we will, tomorrow and the next day, hopefully I'll be out on the trail doing some fun stuff here in Moab if all goes well. I get to work on undoing all the stuff I did yesterday. And here I am finding the loose bolt.
Oh, well, that was it. That sucker was not on at all. Oh, geez. Ooh. Not on at all.
And now, instead of having a little finesse, I am trying to muscle it and tighten it super tight.
Uh-oh. I broke the bolt. Oh, fuck. Oh.
Look at my face. I can't believe what I just did. At this point, I turn off the camera because I need to regroup. And now we have problem 3. A broken bolt on the pulley wheel.
Okay, so here's what's happened. This is the old water pump, but one of the bolts, this bolt, broke off in there. So what I need to do is I need to drill on that water pump and then chase it with a tap and die, get a new bolt, chase it with a tap and die, and then I can put it back on. But the fact that with my hand tightening I could break this bolt, I might want to buy 3 of these because I don't want to do this again. Because I can't believe I broke it just with hand tightening. No leverage, no nothing, just hand tightening with this. And this thing doesn't even give you a lot of torque. What a nightmare. What a nightmare.
So here we are at day 3. My husband ordered yesterday from Napa and I went and picked it up this morning, a new water pump because I messed up the old one, and to fix it, when I broke the bolt off, I messed it up. And to fix it is really complicated and would be pretty expensive because of I'll show you, I'll insert a picture here. So it would be really complicated to fix here in this environment. Plus, gaskets are one-time use, so once I take it off, I can't put it back on with the gasket. So I needed a new gasket. And the only way we could get a gasket in Moab is to buy a new water pump. So we spent $76. Moab Napa Auto Parts got it in, and I went and picked it up this morning. Also picked up a wrench to work with the pulleys. So hopefully, and new bolts at the True Value. So hopefully today I have everything I need to get this water pump in, this car running, and at least drive it to town tonight. If not, maybe drive it on a trail tomorrow or the next day. We'll see how things go. Anyway, that's what's up. The saga of the water pump. So today I decided to do everything by hand with a regular socket wrench, no electric socket wrench, so I could have the feel for it. And I start to take out the old water pump. And very quickly things turn bad.
Oh, fuck, I broke another bolt. Fuck. Fuck.
And now we have problem 4. A second broken bolt. How am I able to break these bolts? I better... Okay, I'm sitting in my van, collecting my thoughts. I broke a bolt off yesterday when I installed the water pump. I don't understand. I've never broken bolts before. I don't understand. Are these made out of aluminum or something, these bolts? Anyway, I am trying not to lose it completely and break down. So I'm going to pack up the van again. I'm going to go into town and get an extractor and an M6 tap or die or whatever side I need, decide to thread it again. Because it's on the engine. So I have to chase it out. And to add insult to injury, my check engine light came into my van and it's something with the fuel. So I have 2 cars that don't run properly. But this is why I have a brand new Defender. Anyway, it's not going to get cooler as the day goes on. So this is a complicated process. I'm worried about access for the tap and die, or the tap that I have to go in. I think that's what it's called. I'm worried about the length of it because I don't have a lot of room in the engine. What a clusterfuck. All right, we're still on day 3, but now it's the afternoon after it's almost 5 o'clock and we're in the shade. And I called out the big guns, got Gracie, because I've clearly messed this up. And whatever the opposite of the Midas touch is, I have it this week. So Grace is here to help me talk through, help do this stuff. I've got, I broke the bolt on the water pump in the engine block. So I've got a left-handed bit, I've got an extractor, and then I've got a new tap to tap it. I had to buy a new drill because I don't have a drill with me. So now I have a cool M18 drill and I've been charging the battery all afternoon. And we're gonna see how this goes. And if I break down and cry.
Okay. And I'm attempting to also fix the door.
I broke her door lock too in the process.
And I don't have the right tool, so I'm trying to do a combination of hand tools.
Just what I've been doing.
Yeah.
So, okay. Oh, and I bought safety glasses because with my luck, I'll take my eye out if I don't use them.
So first I try to drill a little hole into the broke off bolt, so then I can put the extractor in and extract it.
Well, I got it in a little bit, and the battery's dead. So we've got to put this. The drill died.
Okay, I got that part.
So now we need to stick this in here, and I need to twist it.
Here, would you like?
And I gotta twist it straight. I don't have much room. Yes, that's what I was looking for.
I couldn't get the bolt to extract, so Grace took a turn. Eventually we just gave up and the battery had charged enough that we just drilled the hole out completely.
That should do it.
Next, we needed to tap the hole. This is not my strong suit. It takes a lot of patience. And so Grace did this, and she did a great job.
We've now chased the threads, drilled it out, chased the threads right here. And now I'm gonna clean up some of these as best I can with carb cleaner, and then we're gonna reassemble.
Finally, it was time to add coolant
Are we good?
I think we are. I think we're good.
and turn the car on.
That sounds a lot better.
Problem 5. We hear a clicking. Overnight, we decided the chirping was actually a bolt hitting the pulley wheel. When we drilled out the engine, the drill died, and so we were unable to drill the hole completely out. So when we put the bolt back in, it wasn't completely in. So we had to stick a washer in between. Therefore, the bolt was out a little more, and it was rubbing against the pulley wheel. You can see here I took it off and decided that that was as much as it was going to do, and it has been fine and running ever since.
Okay, so we're in the car. The car is on.
It runs. When did we finish? When did I finish? 2 days ago?
Yeah.
2 days ago we finished, and yesterday we test drove it. We had to add coolant. We drove it a little bit, let it cool off, added coolant, did that several times, and this morning no coolant was needed. So we're pretty sure we have enough coolant, and we're headed out for a trail today. Yay! We're in Moab. We actually get to do something fun.
Yep.
So so the car's running. Hopefully we're done, and now we can enjoy our time together and on the trail.
Yes.
Bye.